Greetings everyone, hello and welcome back to Victoria 3 once more to our Japan playthrough. In the last episode, well, we kinda started as a very small power right over here, still in the Japanese shogunate. Well, we're still in the Japanese shogunate, that's the problem. And we continue onwards, we've laid some groundworks with our industrialization, so we are still a very agrarian population, right? And I would like to really move towards industrialization. And we're doing this right now with the very first basic things that you can do, more logging camps, tool shops that we have now, and soon then also iron mining, which we're going to need for our new construction method. We're sitting at 41 construction capacity right now. That's not very much right now, so we are barely able to build two things at once. I would like to get to this point during this episode, so that we can really speed up construction. Right now we're working on the tool workshops. That's very important as we are going to need a lot of tools and they're very expensive right now. That means we need to import them at a very high price. And this once again also lowers my income there quite a bit. Actually we make a loss, which is fine because we get 3 million in gold reserves right now. And you should not be afraid of using gold reserves at all. It's a nice investment into your economy. Iron frame buildings, that's the one that we are using right now. And this is especially costing me tools and iron. And that is something that is, because of that, very expensive now, right? So we got the iron here, we got the tools here. Now tools is the more expensive thing and we are going to need tools for quite a lot of things. So that's what I'm building right now, some tooling workshops over here in Jogoku. Now while this is happening for my economy, we also should pass more laws, and one of them is very, very important to us, and that's the colonization law that we have. And right now we have the frontier colonization, so colonization is limited to states connected to the country's border, but we want to do colonial exploitation, the next highest law that we have, and this one actually gives me more throughput out of the unincorporated states, so kind of like a boost to every colony that we have that is not part of our empire yet, and it also gives me a higher colonial growth generation. That means I can faster colonize stuff, and we want to do this. The chance for this is really high because the shogunate and the petite bourgeoisie are endorsing this. So with that we have a very high chance of actually enacting this law. So let's go ahead and start the process of this law once more. That's one of the few laws we can actually go for right now. We already were very successful with our first law passing. That's the professional army. That's super important. And now we are actually moving for colonization. Not that many other things here right now that we could enact. So this is going to take a while anyway. Another thing, speaking about colonization, is up here, this very small island, Sakhalin, right? And this is tension-wise. So Sakhalin is really good actually for our mines here once more, right? So we definitely need a lot of iron and coal. So this is where this island is just super nice. And I think later on we actually get oil out of this one too. So this is super important for my economy really. And it's not really part of any empire yet. Not part of the Chinese, not part of Russia, and not part of us. So we can actually have a go at that. And for that, we need to establish a colony over there that we haven't done yet. So let's go ahead and colonize Sakhalin. This is going to take a while, right? It's also isolated. That means right now we have a bit of a problem incorporating this into our market. And this is where the new law comes in then. Because once we have that, we don't need to have a colony directly bordering our empire anymore, right? Which would be the case here. So with that, we can actually incorporate this much better into our empire than before. So we need the law and we need Sakhalin. That's that. We don't have any other journal entries for the moment. We still have only the Terracotta system here that I'm working on. So for that, we don't need this Japanese investment level for education on level 3. We don't even have that yet because we don't have the tag for this at the moment. Let's actually speed up time there again a bit so we can still work on other things. What's happening on the world there? The Great Britain have declared Ottoman Empire to be their rival. So we better not have anything to do with the Ottoman Empire at the moment. And so far so good. Alright, after a little while the introduction phase has passed and we're now in the consideration phase for colonial exploitation. 45% chance, it actually went down a bit. We do also have some counter movement here from the Haimin. This is an influential interest group and they're angry right now because I'm doing something they don't want. They want the old ways and we're actually reforming here right now something. So whenever we reform something, this interest group is not very well, good for us. So I could actually suppress them to make them weaker. That would cost me some 200 authority that we can, yeah, actually could use at the moment. I think though we don't need that because their cloud is only 7%, so they're really not that strong. Alright, it takes some time, but we are now in the process of finishing our first tooling workshop in Shogoku. We should see, yep, there it is, a nice change to my taxes there right away since we've built it, because now we are actually lowering the prices of tools then. It is then consuming also some wood. However, we need a lot of workforce here before this is fully operational, and we still have also our social mobility inactive here, or active here, so this one makes sure that we can switch my population for farmers to laborers here quickly. And as the vacancies are going down and the employment rate is going up for this tooling workshop, we produce more and more tools, and this is then also lowering the price of tools in general. Alright, rousing speech. This afternoon, Tarakuni Misuno, leader of the samurai, delivered a fiery speech advocating for the enactment of colonial exploitation. And this should ease the path. Alright, we would get a plus 15 right away. We could also make sure that Tarakuni is getting more popularity. He's part of the samurai and a traditionalist. No, I'm not going with that. So we just go with the enactment chance here of up to 60% with that. Meanwhile, up in the north here, we are continuing our colonization. So we've already made some progress, right? So this is now part of my empire already. The Japanese Sakhalin, very good. We could incorporate it then into my empire as well with some 10 bureaucratic power or bureaucracy. For now, though, I'm just going to leave it be. So another 40 days, we actually continue onwards further north. And what I've seen so far is we are rather early. That's great because Russia hasn't started colonization yet. There might still be then some trouble with Russia coming up here because they also will have an interest on that, but for now it's fine. Yeah, we are actually in the process of finishing the last tooling workshop that we have, and this means I should work on something else. In Tohoku, we do have a lot of iron mines possible, right? So up to 60. Tohoku has nothing but farms at the moment, so this is a very agrarian population here, but it's 3 million, so that's a lot of people. We don't have the social mobility yet, so I'm going to enact this one too for Tohoku now, and we're going to start with the iron mines. So I'm going to start with, let's make it 6 for now, and that's very important because we do need iron for our construction industry as well, so the price of that is rather high. We don't have a single production of iron at the moment in the whole, I think, of Japan, so we really need to get this started, otherwise we are going to pay a premium price for a long time. And this is now in effect, right? So we can actually build 2 buildings at the same time right now. That's great, right? But it's taking some time. And yep, there it is. The iron mines are starting to appear. I just love this. The details on the map are fantastic as the iron mines are now being incorporated into my land. And there it is. Also, the first iron mines have been finished. And we are now starting to produce iron, but we do consume tools in addition. So tools and iron is now going to be something that we are working on all the time. And for now, the ratio is okay, I say, but we can still improve this then here with the atmospheric engine pump. So this is something that we're working right now on the tech tree. There it is, atmospheric engine. This will be a massive boost to my mining output. And this is something we can finish then though in 3 years. So until then we should have everything ready for it. Also some coal mines. Now we have colonial exploitation. It has been finished finally. A new law has been passed. And with that we can now fully use Sakhalin then also for my colony. And that's going to be very important up here. Oh, another message gold has been discovered in Hokkaido. That's great. Gold is really valuable and it gives me a total flat money output as well if we go into minting. That's pretty cool stuff here. And we start with 3 right away that we already used then. There's no usage though of gold yet at the moment, I think. No mining at the moment, as there's no workforce here. That's for Hokkaido. The problem with Hokkaido is that there is basically no people living over here. It's 60,000 right now in comparison to the 3 million, for example, in Tohoku or the 6 million in Chubu. So we are having a bit of a trouble here with the population there right now, which still needs to grow a bit. For now, I cannot do anything here, right? So social mobility would not be that helpful to me. And for now, there's nothing else that we can really do in order to increase population quickly. Meanwhile, also up here, another colony is being established. Very good. And we are continuing to climb further up north. And as we can see, every time a little colony has been finished, we are also getting more spots for iron and coal mining then as well. There's some 20,000 people living in here right now, so it's the same with Hokkaido. Basically no workforce existing right now, so this is going to be a bit, of course, a trouble. But discoverable resources this one has, as expected, and there will most certainly be oil, which is then later down the road be very, very powerful for us. What I'm also going to start with Hokkaido right away is coal mining. Now, as I said, we don't have a lot of workforce here, but creating jobs actually leads to more immigration then, or migration, and that means more people will move to Hokkaido then once there are jobs available. Now, Hokkaido is pretty special. It has a lot of coal mines available, and it also has a boost, the Ishikari coal field, and this gives me 10% coal mines building throughput, so another nice boost to my coal output. So let's go ahead and build me some 3 coal mines for now. This is not going to be that valuable early on. The same with the gold mines that we've discovered here. There is basically no workforce for it at the moment. But we're going to work on that and make sure that Hokkaido will be our coal powerhouse pretty soon. How's it looking there? Iron mines are being finished too, then another tool shop, and then the coal mines in Hokkaido. Also very interesting, this is a new mechanic that hasn't existed on release, and that's the private constructions that we have. So we got private companies now too that are constructing their own businesses, and they've seen that there is demand for tools in Tohoku, because we're also building here the iron mines right now, and they consume tools, and they just saw the opportunity of building a tool workshop here. So this is being built now while we actually build on other things completely. This is very nice for us because it saves us time, right? We're building tool workshops without having to use our own capacity for that. So in Tohoku there is quite some dynamic now already with the industry that we have, and also with a private sector that's building up at the same time. Alright, another colony has been established. We are getting a lot of mines here. How many people do we have there? Yeah, it's growing though, quickly though. Yep. Alright, very important. Sakhalin uprising up here is happening right now, so the native population doesn't really like to get colonized so quickly. So we do actually need to wage some war against them. And with that we have now a diplomatic play up here, but what I can see is they don't even have soldiers. Medical decree is unlocked, another health system institution investment that we can go with now. This was passively achieved. So we not only have our active research, but also there's passive research happening all the time. In this case, that was the medical decree. Lath here, for example, is also passively being researched here right now. Alright, this uprising is interesting, really. There is no soldiers on the part of the Sakhalin. We're now in the opening phase, which is leading to escalation. I'm going to mobilize my armies now. All of them. It's only 30 really that we have, right? So it's really not that much, but we can get them over then with this. And we're now going into the war phase, so escalation, countdown to war is happening. My 30 armies have been, mobilized now. This gives me a total maneuver power of 75. They have 30, but they have 0 battalions working for them. And there it is. The war has broken out to arms. And up here we do see now the front line between our colony, right, and the Sakhalin. And they're now hostile towards us. And we're now going to take our battalions that we have and deploy them on the front. This is going to take some time. And once there, we can actually fight them. And there they are. And there the fighting is happening. Against an invisible enemy. That doesn't really exist there. And we're now moving then slowly into the territory there. Is it already over? Nah, not over yet. And there's the first Sakhalinian army. However, there's no soldiers on it. While we win this war, of course, their morale is already crumbling. What we need to worry about is my gold reserves. They are going down now almost completely with a very high negative balance here. So I will need to change my construction here from iron frame to wooden buildings again. This will stabilize my income there, my balance, and we can actually build up some gold reserves again. And from now on, I will need to juggle between the two until the iron frame buildings are profitable for me. So until we have a profitable or positive balance, even with the iron frame buildings active. Though with my construction capacity right now, we're consuming so much iron and so many tools that it's not worth it having it on permanently. Without it, we're dropping to 27 on the construction capacity, which is still fine. So we can still build 2 buildings or 2 constructions at the same time, and this is still helping us out there a bit. We're building the coal mines in Hokkaido now, right now, right? So this is going to take a while, right? So there's no going around that. I'm going to enact social mobility for it, so there is more people actually getting into employment here, but it's going to take a long time before these coal mines actually start to work. I just want to give this basic incentive early on that people actually move there. So the Sakhalin have now capitulated, and we have now the colonization rights of the whole of Sakhalin, and the colonization continues once more. Sorry, pals, but you will have to join me sooner or later now, right? There's some devastation here because of my army that wreaked it, but it's fine. It's going to be repaired. It's going to be a very poor colony early on anyway. And there it is. We continue now into this territory up there. Now, by now, the tool workshop in Tohoku has been finished by the private sector. That doesn't mean anything. We can really still fully control it. That's great stuff. And in this case here, it's interesting what is happening right now. Because we have changed our construction method again, the iron mine that we have here right now are not profitable because the price of iron has dropped significantly without us using it, right? So what we can do here is instead, the tooling workshop that we have here in this area already, we can switch its production method to wrought iron tools. With that, it will also consume iron in addition to wood and produce more tools out of it. So this is a nice in-between solution here. I'm going to level it up as well. And with that, we can raise the price of iron again and make this one here profitable again, this business. And that's actually something that we should focus now, that these businesses are profitable while we continue with the expansion of wood, iron and tools. And there it is. The colonization of Sakhalin has been completed, and the former colony is now proper state that we have up here, with some 42,000 people in it, and we can then also incorporate it. This takes 20 years in total, since its homelands have nothing in common with any culture in Japanese shogunate. We can do this. This is costing me just a minor bureaucracy power, and it's going to take quite some time now of doing this. Hokkaido was actually our own culture, so there is no problem really. We could, in addition, get the incorporation now in, and we could then also get the assimilation boost up as well, but for now that's not active because we incorporated first. For Hokkaido, I think we do have it. Yep, promote national values. This actually gives me higher conversion and assimilation rate for any non-Japanese on it. And more gold has been discovered in Hokkaido once more. A gold rush. People from all corners of the earth are converging there, confident that they will discover the next great lode and become incredibly rich. And spread the word. This will actually, and this is what I've been waiting for, it's perfect. Hokkaido gets 125% migration attraction. And this means, yeah, that a lot of people will move to Hokkaido now. So the population will grow rather quickly now. And population means, well, yeah, laborers that we can then use in our coal mines. In addition to that, we have the national or the social mobility up here. So people moving there will then also change faster to their designated profession. Alright, what is that? Devout scandal. It has been revealed that Oshoye, half of the Buddhist monks, has been having a secret affair with the member of the clergy. His resignation is being demanded. Who are you again? Japanese shogunate. I don't think he's very... I mean, he's loved. He's of the Buddhist monks. I don't really care about them, honestly. They have a very strong clout, though, at the moment of 20%. Right? I might actually just not do anything out of it. Japanese dream. A story has been making the rounds about a miner who struck it rich and became the wealthiest man in his town. People in Hokkaido are beginning to live beyond their means, convinced they'll all become rich soon enough. And this increases the standard of living by 2 in Hokkaido, but it gives me an unrealistic expectation. All that is gold is not glitter. And unrealistic expectations is dismissed. We only get +1 standard of living and a negative 15% on the radicals from standard of living decreases. I think this is the safer bet here because we can't meet the standard of living expectations right now in Hokkaido. So I'm going with a more moderate approach to this. I'm switching back to my full production method here of the iron frame buildings. This once again drops my balance there a bit. It also makes sure that my tooling workshops and my iron mines are profitable again, right? So they're building cash reserve up once more. And yeah, we continue with faster construction now. Tooling workshop, then the logging camps, and then probably some more iron mines again, because this is still something we need. How is it looking there with the employment, by the way? Come on. Fully employed, perfect. So we have the maximum potential there. Let's increase it by another 4 levels. And we're not that negative right now. We were 30k negative last time. Now we're only 7k negative right now. That's of course because we have a higher production now. And yeah, with so many people moving into Hokkaido, finally we also have some employment in the gold fields. So it's yeah, very, very low amount. But there is a bit of money also coming in with that now. This is going to help us out quite a bit. We also have a level 8 gold field here, by the way. So it was 3 first, and now it's 8 thanks to the gold rush that is happening over there. Of course, this is a bit scripted by the game, but it's just a nice boost to my economy as well. And right now, the pop growth is 2% annually, so that's 1.36k in addition. And of course, this is then only multiplying the more people we have, also then with the birth rating and stuff. Alright. Are we building the mines now? No, the next workshop is being finished. And then some logging camps that we need for the tools production. And then the iron mines again. Oh, and there it is. Also, the atmospheric engine has been unlocked. And with that, we get a new mode for the iron mines, the coal mines, basically any mine that we have. And we can also now have the foundation to railways that we can have then later on. But this is pretty important because with that, we can change the work mode now for the mines. So right now, we were picks and shovels. And with the engineering or with the atmospheric engine pump, we can actually put out way more iron at the cost of more coal. We don't have coal yet on the market though. So just out of curiosity, I would like to have a look what happens when I activate this. The iron output should be higher. Yep, it's twice as high. Which is leading then to the iron price dropping a bit. But it is in consuming our coal, which we don't have in stock right now. So we don't really feel the change of this at the moment without coal really coming in. And since it's taking longer than expected in Hokkaido to get a population up, even with the gold rush, right? And we have the gold mines here now that are a bit more important to me. Let's actually work on Kyushu down here, the southern island. Here we actually have a high population of 4 million. And here we actually also have lots of coal fields. And we have the coal output as well with the Chihoko coal field that we have here. So that's 10% output as well for the coal mining. Let's go ahead. Why am I waiting on this? Let's do this, and let's also give this one the social mobility as well. And with that, we have consumed all the authority for now. Of course, we can then always cancel it again and get the authority back, but I don't think that we need it for anything else right now. So the coal, it is down here. Iron mines, tooling workshops, then the coal mines, and all of that with 63 construction capacity. We have not the worst balance right now, so I still have 1 million in gold reserves, so we can stay negative for a little while longer to boost the construction sector. There's also a new food industry building up in Kanto now. I don't complain, though it's not the most important thing right now. So far so good, nice colonization up in the north. The industry foundation continues onwards, though we're still very early here, and we continue onwards in the next episode. For Japan, stay tuned.